Assalamu alaikum. Somada binyade. Nakasuplis? I'm still learning. Okay. I want to thank you so much for being here. I'd also like to thank Musa Lene and your instructor, Dr. Usa Toure, for having us come here to talk to you. And first of all, I want you to do two things. Know you're going to have a good time, and know you're going to go with something. We're going to start off by giving. The more you give, the more you receive. So what we have is the raffle ticket.
Who is that a ticket? You all have tickets? You don't have? Give me one. Keep your tickets to yourself, please. One ticket or one.
Okay, we are going to raffle off some turmeric. Now, for those of you that don't know about turmeric, it grows like a carrot. But if you eat it, you put it in your food, it will help to reduce the inflammation in your body. If you have no inflammation, you have no disease. Is that clear? Get rid of the inflammation, no disease. Musa talked about our Americans, and some of them look like, right? They're not sick. Their bodies are reacting to the poison. In America, they feed us food that's no good. Okay? The water. A lot of us get water that are out of old pipes, so the water's not good. We also have things that come from the sky. They call them chemtrails, and the scientific name, geoengineering. And we have that stuff that is put down upon us. And it goes into the soil. When it goes into the soil, the crops that grow, they're not strong, they're weak. And when the people eat this, their bodies react and they swell up. And they program us to think it's their fault, it's their fault, they're all big and fat. No, they're killing us. Mama Naasira and I made the trip here. Why? We need help. But we know that you are the genius. You have the resources. You have the imagination to help the whole world. But like they have put us to sleep, we're here to help you wake up. Okay? Now the first thing I'm going to do is give you information on why we are so different from the Europeans. And if we eat the same food that someone that's very different from us, we're gonna have a problem. Your bones, touch your bones, touch your bones, touch your bones. They're 10 times stronger or denser than the Europeans. If your bones are 10 times stronger or denser, the rest of your body is going to be different. You have wonderful things called melanin. This is the hue. This is the pigmentation, what gives us the color. But it's not only that. This melanin also gives us strength. This melanin also gives us the wisdom. But we have to take care of it. We have to take things that are going to make our melanin strong and not tear it down. Now the difference is, Europeans, they have more sulfur in their melanin cells because everyone has melanin. We have more of it. That's why we're called melanin dominant. But those that have little or no, the Europeans, they call them melanin recessive. Okay? We got that. Now, I'm speaking to an audience of melanin dominant. That means brown to black. Brown to black. Is there anyone here who's not brown to black? All right, right? So I'm talking to melanated people here. So everything I say, remember there's a difference. Europeans, they have more sulfur in their body. That is why when they get wet, they give off that smell, that sulfur. We don't have it. We have selenium in our body. That helps to boost our immune system and keep our mind at ease and balance. It keeps us from getting Alzheimer's. It keeps us from getting other neurological challenges like multiple sclerosis. You have it. They don't. They have more ammonia salt in their body than we do. That's why they're warm all the time. And we have to suffer being in offices where we're cold and they're not. And then some of us get to see them jump in water, cold water, okay? In the winter. Why? They're very different. They have ammonia in their body that keeps them warm. And not only that, with our melanin, we are able to have taste buds where we taste the full flavor of the food. That is why we make the best cooks and make the best chefs. We are able to hear better than they hear. We can hear the sound within the sound. That helps us to be the great musicians that we are. In our eyes, with our melanin, we can see the color within the color. We can see the pale greens, the pale blues, colors they cannot see. We have that and much, much more. But why? Why is there a problem? Well, if you are the majority of the people, it's more you people of color than there are those people that don't have the color, and you have a small percentage of them that want to control and want to get rid of you, okay? Believe it or not, they believe we need to get rid of some of these people of color, a whole bunch of them. So what we're dealing with historically, what we have seen, the colon, the colon, the colon. That is your second brain. Your second brain. And the second brain sends information to the first brain. Now, when you have someone who is aggressive, who comes in and moves your family out of the villages, someone who attacks you, move you out of your lifestyle, that affects your colon. Because now you are not able to eat normally. Now your life has been disturbed. Your colon. And if your second brain is in trouble, what signals it's sending to the first brain? Confusion, delusion. That is why many people are able to be defeated, because their colon is troubled. And they're attacked by colonizers. There's a reason for the word. Colonizers. Disrupting your colon. Disrupting the way you eat. Disrupting the way you think. Because there is that connection. Now that I have some of the differences, and there's a long list of differences, what I want to point out is this, that we do not have the worms and the parasites that the Europeans have to break down and metabolize our food. So they can eat things like meat, some of you can, whatever, that we should not eat. Because if we eat it, we can, but we have a problem. We, being natural people from the sun, we are supposed to eat fruits, vegetables, grains, seeds, nuts. And if you look around, you'll see here on the continent and all around the world, the biggest, the strongest, and the fiercest animals. They don't eat any meat. Help me out. Elephant, giraffe, gorilla, the bulls, the list goes on, and there's a reason for that. Our teeth are not made for eating certain things. Our teeth are made for eating the alkaline things I pointed out. The fruits, the grains, the vegetables, the seeds. Okay? Now, when you don't eat that alkaline, you're putting acid. Acid. And acid are those things, most of them are white. The white sugar, the white table salt, the white flour, the white pasta, the white rice, the white bread, meat, alcohol. Yes, your body turns those things like the pasta, the rice, the bread into sugar. And if you have the combination of the three things, the sugar, the salt, and the fat, and you call it grease, it makes a combination that touches the endorphins in your brain so you can feel happy, happy, happy. Sugar, salt, and grease. Sugar, salt, and grease makes you feel happy. Now, that combination is not necessarily good for the buyer, but you can understand why someone can be all alone, no lights, with a big bowl of ice cream, eating it and feeling happy because of the sugar, salt, and grease. And all of your junk food has that, sugar, salt, and grease. Now, Mama Naasira and I have come here to show you and explain some of the challenges, but we also come with solutions. I do not believe in presenting a problem unless there is a solution. Now, one of the things that happens with the sugar, the salt, and the grease, when you eat that combination, it becomes a haven. It becomes a wonderful environment for the worms, for the worms, for the worms. And who are the worms? These are those parasites that begin to grow, begin to have babies, begin to poop inside you. And how do they survive? Sugar, salt, and grease, sugar, salt, and grease. And they're very intelligent. It's everything Most High Allah has made. Very intelligent. The first thing that they do is they get together and they take over your PA system. So now, most of the voice that you hear now is telling you to get that piece of bread. Get that porridge before somebody else gets it. Oh, wake up. Get that. Eat that. You want to eat that. These are the worms talking to you. And they're talking because they want to survive. They want you to continue to feed them the sugar, the salt, and the grease. And if you stop, sometimes they will give you an upset stomach. Sometimes the worms will give you a headache. Like you're familiar with a tire, sugar, one of the most dangerous legal drugs allowed. One of the most dangerous legal drugs allowed. And if you don't believe it's dangerous, talk to some of the people that have been drinking a tire, and you tell them to stop for 2 days. They will say, what? My head hurts, my body's, because they're addicted to that drug. But it's legal. It's legal. Why is it legal? Because there are people that want you sick. If you get sick, then what do? You come to some of them that make money, called doctors, making money off of you. In America, we had a big challenge. And it had to do with a person by the name of Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller. He was a billionaire. Lots of money making oil, dealing oil. And with all of his money, he wanted to do something with this extra tar stuff that comes from the oil. So he decided, aha, I know, we'll make it medicine. Have people think it is medicine. And we can even make more money off that. And that's what he did. Because he had all this money, he bought medical schools. He gave out stipends and grants to people to come and study the medicine his way. He had them to promote medicine. They called it pharmaceuticals with basically the petrol in it. So if you deal with a lot of medicine, that is one of the influences, because of a rich person and his family that are in control of the pharmaceuticals. So that's why we stress the natural way. Natural is best. Whether it's your hair, and you guys look naturally beautiful. Okay? Now I'm going to take a break because we're going to raffle off something. So look at your number, and we're going to have someone to okay? Are you ready? All right. He looks like an honest man, right? I'm going to shake it up, and he's going to call out the number. Now what we're going to do is give out some turmeric, and we'll give a few of those. So pull out the number. Look at your number.
How many of you are familiar with turmeric? How many? Turmeric, it reduces the inflammation in your body if you have pain, like I have sometimes. turmeric water on your tea. You know, and boiling water in Calabar, it's really good. And you can also put it in your stews and your food.
Okay, first number.
1.
You said it's 1,
6, 3.
163. Ah,
Check it all over. 163, right?
okay, let's get another.
Come for it. That's yours. Yeah. It's not good. Yes. 101. 101. Check your number. It's 101. It's yours. Okay, bring it. Let me check my phone. I can pick it. Please look at your numbers.
179. Sorry, 197 rather.
197.
97.
That's you? Okay,
197.
bring it. Huh? You don't have?
Thank you. We have some more things to raffle out. Now, what I'd like to do is to give you some things to survive with, okay? Survive. Because we are in a war, and we will win. This is a spiritual war, and it's already been won. Number 1, if you are eating the ground nuts, please remember the healthiest part of the ground nut is the skin. So if you eat the ground nut,
Hello.
eat the ground nut with the skin together.
Here.
If not, then you go closer and closer to high blood and diabetes. Is that clear? Now, some of you, I need an example. Some of you may not have ever eaten the skin with the peanut.
Are you hearing me? Can you hear me?
Okay. Now, a lot of the things we have to acquire.
Sorry. Can you all hear him loud and clear what he's saying? You can. Yes, please don't stop him. Can you please stop that? Hello. Those of you at the back, can you please stay attention before you distract others? Continue.
Okay, now, testimony. How is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now remember, the skin is more healthy for you than the nut itself. So if you're gonna eat it together, okay? You can make your peanut butter that way, everything, but it's healthy, okay? Remember, survival. 2, here in the Gambia, I know you've been bitten by a mosquito before, right? Yes? Yes? If you were bitten by a mosquito, you can take some coconut oil and rub, because it's antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral, and it will start to take the sting away. If you do not have coconut oil, get you a white potato. Just cut off a slice, and then put it over the area where you have been bitten, okay? It will go into the skin, and it will help to neutralize things, okay? So the sting will go away. Survival, right? Next. Oh my goodness. I have to talk about attire. You don't mind, do you? You don't mind? The paper that you have, we have references for the videos. So we have the history of attire, where it came from, how it got here. But what's very, very important is 2 things. Number 1, the Gambia has the richest soil in the world because of the colonizers that carved it out from Senegal. Both sides of the river, you have the best soil in the world. So if you have the best soil in the world, you're going to grow the best fruits, vegetables, crops, and tea. Now let me run down a list. And I had to write it down because I'm not as good as my wife with this. But we have bora, kenkelaba, moringa, neem, soursop or susop, guava, ginger. We can make tea out of onion, ginger, baobab, wanjo, hibiscus. The list goes on and on. The best tea in the world, right? Then tell me, please, why would you get tea from China? Why would you get tea from someone that don't love you that well? Why would you get tea that's not grown in the best water? Okay? So, survival. Survival. Next. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Well, if you take a moringa seed, such as this, okay, you can undo it. You guys are familiar with the moringa seed. Never die, right?
Yes.
Take it and chew it. Chew one seed. Then drink your tea without the sugar. It will be sweet and effervescent. The other thing you can do, survival now, instead of using the white sugar, use your local honey. In America, Mama Naasira and I, we had a problem. Why? Because they pollute the air. The bees are sick. So we wouldn't eat any honey from those bees, but you have the best honey. So use your honey instead of the sugar, okay? The other, tandan. Okay. This, instead of sugar, you can take it, cut it up small, put a little water, mash it down, and you can turn this into date sugar. Use this instead of the white sugar. Because the white sugar, it destroys every organ in your body. And for you men, and women are interested too, if you want to be able to get things going up, leave that sugar alone. Okay? Okay. Sugar. I mentioned before, this is the most dangerous drug that's legal. It happens to be white. Anyway, if you can stay away from it, do so. It is disguised with many different names, so when you look on the ingredients, you wonder, is that really sugar? That's part of your homework. Google and find out the other names for sugar. Then when you see things, you'll say, ah! They tried to fool me again, but they couldn't get it. Okay? You got it? And wrapping up with the person who has touched me in so many ways, the one who has helped so many people in so many ways, the one who has sacrificed sleep, the one who has put in effort, the one who has paved the way for many people for a longer life and a healthier life, including mine. I'm 71 and I've just begun, okay? And that's my lovely wife, Mama Naasira Ageela.
Wow, this is a wonderful opportunity to be at the University of the Gambia, Faraba campus. I am honored to be here and to see so many students and to see the new campus. This reminds me of California over the last 40, 50 years of building up San Francisco, San Jose. And I'm a professional student. I started college at the age of 17. I left home because I felt like it was time for me to move on. I was the oldest of 6 children. And I finished high school a year early, and I started the community college. And the one thing that I left home was the fact that my mother was a stay-home parent. She cooked all the healthy food for us. My father was a carpenter, and when he came home, the food had to be prepared. So that was my life in terms of healthy eating and not eating in the restaurants. And it kept me strong, it kept me athletic, and when I started college, they made this store. I'm sure you've heard of McDonald's, Burger King, all of these restaurants in 1971. They made it so that we could pursue our careers and not focus on preparing our foods. So I was in the medical field, studying clinical science, and I also had an experience with nursing, because my father paid for me to take nursing for a year before college. So it kind of gave me the opportunity to move forward, not to get married right away. I wanted to be independent. Fast forward, I decided one day that I wanted to work in a big hospital. So I had a friend to take me to all the different hospitals. And there was one hospital that gave me an opportunity to go to their school to take up phlebotomy. Are you familiar with lab technician? Phlebotomist, drawing blood. And it was an exciting opportunity at the age of 18 to wear my white coat and greet patients and draw their blood. I was trained by one of the best dental students that can find the vein in the mouth. So you know that I had the best teacher. And after a year of doing that, I was able to get an opportunity to work in pediatrics and the nursery. So I was taught how to draw blood from children. But as the years go on and I was studying, by the time I was 19, I was doing very well in my career. But I had an incident drawing a patient's blood. I thought the patient was okay, but she jumped, and I thought, "Are you okay?" She said yes. But because I was 19 and I didn't have that sixth sense to know that she may jump again. So she jumped, the needle stuck me. And I didn't think much about it at the time. I was on my way to a birthday party, so I ran water over it, walked away. 3 days later, I was itching all over and couldn't figure out what it was because I forgot about the needle stick. So I ended up going to the doctor, and we were trying to figure out why I was itching so much. So he recommended a blood test and a urinalysis. And after 4 or 5 days, I was really sick. My eyes turned yellow, my stomach was aching, I couldn't eat food very well. And so when I called the doctor, I said, I remember I stuck myself with the needle. He said, "We have the results." So that's when my life changed. I was not able to eat all of those foods with all those chemicals, with all those things that disrupt the body, and my colon. I couldn't really eat for 30 days. And that was the beginning when the doctor said, "You need to eat the way your mother raised you." And because we're Native Americans, that food is not for us. It was for people who could, eat that type of food and not have a problem. But for me, I was about to die. And that's when my journey started. I had roommates and I was preparing food. They were eating up the food. So eventually, by the time I turned 21, I got my own apartment. And that's when I started experimenting on preparing health foods. And the one thing didn't know what to do. My mother, she could only tell me so much. So what I started doing was preparing food on Sunday. After my studies, I would prepare enough food. I would have greens, and I would make homemade bread. I would make salads. I would make potato salads, and I would put them all in the refrigerator. So on Monday, I would have food for lunch and for evening, and it would go on for 3 days, and then I would prepare something else to get through Friday, Thursday, and Friday. This is how we should live as students, I believe, because you can live longer. I'm right now, how old do you think I am right now? 60, 65, what do you say? I'm exactly 69. I'll be 70 in January the 4th. And it hasn't been easy. I continued to go to college and work and live by myself. And by the time I was 24, I decided to get married. And when I had my first child, I stopped college, took a break, and I raised my child to eat healthier than my mother raised me. It's because I had recipe books. I used to have my friends that would come over and they would eat food. And at that time, we didn't charge people. Now, I may have to charge because now the food is more costly because the food that I'm eating is all natural, organic, and plant-based. Since I don't eat any meats and no cheese or all those things I stopped doing, I have to find food to supplement, like the eggs, there's flaxseed. How many of you ever heard of flaxseed? Chia seeds. Wow, you guys got a lot to go. This is cool. You know, you're young and you'll have plenty of time to get to this level. We have the books over here and we have the website. We have a website, we have a YouTube. You know, so you can know exactly how to make those changes and to transition. For instance, like milk, you know, if you want to stop drinking the milk because it gives you inflammation, you have more colds, you know, when you drink the milk. So there's almond. You can take almonds. If you have a blender, you can add water and blend it, and you have your almond milk. The same with cashews, peanut butter, and you can add it to your cereals, your smoothies. There's so many creative ways to prepare your food. Now, I do have my AA degree in library technology, and I've gone back to school after my children were older, and I completed my bachelor's degree in humanities. And then I started to go for my master's. I couldn't do it because I didn't have time to prepare my food in my 50s. So I hired a few people to prepare my food, and after the first year, it didn't work out. So I stopped going to college, and I finished my retirement as a library tech. Also, I wanted to talk about the spices and herbs. Now, because I stopped eating the meats, the fish was later, and the eggs and all of that, I had to find a way to bring the taste to my taste buds. So I also worked at the University of San Francisco Medical Center, where we had Indians from India working there, Japanese, and I got a chance to meet all these people because I started training lab techs how to draw blood. So they would give me information about their spices and herbs. Cardamom, you know about the cardamom. Most of you know cardamom, and they have it in a spice form. There's cumin, the turmeric, sumac, and so many spices. And I also have some here to share some of the things that we do. We do a lot of stews, because in a soup, you can put all kinds of vegetables. And you all have excellent vegetables here in the Gambia. For instance, your eggplant, your squash, your zucchini, the ginger, the garlic. I mean, I just have a great time. Well, right now, since I'm in the Gambia, I have 4 chefs that I've trained over the last 2, 3, 6, 7 years. And we're all just waiting for the opportunity for more of us to become familiar with the food. Then we can possibly have a health food store here in the Gambia. And that way we would bring plenty tourists, you know, to the country, because now everybody wants to change, but we have to learn how to do it. So the younger people are the ones that can make it happen. So since we don't use palm oil, I may use it sometime. My chefs, they make really good stews and their food. We use coconut oil, and you can purchase this in the Gambia. And this is coconut oil can be fried in hot heat. It can tolerate, you know, if you want to fry chicken or whatever you want to fry, it can be done with coconut oil. Also, for low heat, we use the olive oil. And you know, olive oil can be just mixed in food without cooking. And it's very, very nutritious, and eating this food also helps you to eliminate. That's why I don't gain any weight anymore. And I just have a great time eating food, and I just eliminated that easily. And it's good when you grow older, you can start working on that process, and you will live 70 years and beyond, right? And here is my magical one from all the different cultures. All of those spices are here. And it's the cumin, the turmeric, allspice, cinnamon, sumac. I mean, in the book, they're all there. And all of these spices, you can use them interchangeably for different dishes. And how many of you study nutrition or medical? Because if you study in medical, it's good to study nutrition. Because when you're in that field, you never know what can happen to you. And you certainly don't want the hospital to really take care of you. It's important to learn how to take care of ourselves. You know, that's the key. You know, you go to the hospital, you know, when you really need help, or really to find out what's wrong with you. And once you know, Google, all the search engines can give you that information, and you can be on your way to a healthy lifestyle and to pass it on to your children. Also, I just purchased these things over at the Faraba supermarket. This is cinnamon powder, and this is one of the best cinnamons. It's called Ceylon, C-Y-L-O-N. Ceylon is one of the most natural and the healthiest. People in America, they put a little bit in their coffee instead of using the sugar because it has a natural sweetener. I know you're familiar with cinnamon, right? Some of you. Okay. And we also, there's another spice. Instead of using Maggi, Jimbo, and all of those, Yes. Well, instead, now here in the Gambia, after 7 years of being here, they now have the vegetarian, vegan type of bouillon cubes. And you don't need the whole cube. All you need is like half of it. Because when you have all these different spices that you buy in the store, let me just pass it around so you can see it. Let everyone see that, the names of it. And if you go to that market, you'll see plenty of it. And of course, they have the turmeric in the store.
Pass it to the other side. So that people can see. Look at it and pass it. And then nice. Close. This is bouillon cube, just like Maggi with one hand in
Is that the bouillon cube? Let me see this.
bouillon cube. It's better than Maggi import.
Raffle time. Check your numbers.
Hello? Yes. I think if you are done looking, we can get it. Yeah, while you are looking at these things, you snap it so that you may go by listen to the numbers, ticket numbers here. 144. Take your ticket, please. 144. 144. If you call the number 3 times, you proceed. 144. 144. Please check. 144, not here. No. No, I need tickets. 186. 186. We got the pressure already.
Okay, now we're just going to give out 3 quickly. These are different CDs. So our collection.
Yes, these are secret cocktails.
Okay, yeah, these are CDs. You can convert into format if you want, but these are mind-moving motivational songs. Now, if you are to grow, you have to change your game. If you are to be a better person, to be a better version, it starts with your thinking. And music is very important. So the first one we're going to give you is from the source. What number do you have? Next.
This number?
I don't believe that. I don't have that.
103.
103.
Is you?
Okay, please pass that.
103.
We have another sunshine.
Hello. Bring your ticket. 103. Yes. 171. Bring your ticket. One 34. 134.
Okay, we are going to give out our last one. And
134. Hey, that one I should get it.
#1 book in the world on health and nutrition. This is for people of color. Our other book is #1 in the UK. That's our green book. But we're going to pull the number. And one of you will have this. We have more in Tim.
Hello, can we have one for you, please?
Yeah, we have more in Timbuktu. We also have Mandela Mall. They have them there. You can get it online or order at any bookstore, and it's #1 in the world. And so now, who's going to walk away with this book? And they know they're going to share the information. Share! Don't just keep it out of yourself. Okay. Who do we have? The winner is
146. 140.
It's you. I'll give you that. Come, let's take a photo. Let's have. Hello. Wait, come. Hello, man. Wait, come take a picture. Bring it, let us take it. Why did you say it? Yeah. Yes. You may sign on it if you wish.
Yes, oh, this is sister. Well, you need to take a picture with us.
You sign on it. So we didn't sign on it.
Stand there. Go and stand there. Yeah, sister.
Recipes, yes, and what
Good, so good. His husband is going to be a lucky man because I'm sure if this woman read this book and follows it, they'll have a healthy family.
Yes.
Read the book and follow it. Indeed. You'll have a healthy family.
Thank you.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, now we're wrapping this up. I left you with the worms, and I told you I would not give you a problem unless there was a solution. Mama Naasira.
Okay.
Mama Naasira. She has put together what is called a concoction. And for those of you that don't know, the president of Madagascar used it, gave it to all of his people free. There were no more coronavirus, okay? Now, this will also get rid of the worms. And there are local things you can use here, but Mama can tell you about it. Remember, we give you solutions, not just the problems. Mama?
Okay, yes. My concoction, I put it together. My youngest son is, my oldest son is 45. Anyway, 45 years ago, one of my sons was coughing a lot. So I started putting garlic together and onions together and some lime and boiled it, and it would break up the inflammation. Over the years, I started doing it for myself, my children, and other people. But the main one good thing is I got sick in the Gambia in 2018, and I couldn't get out of bed for 4 days because I was exhausted, you know, teaching and training, and you know, sometimes when you have various languages, you know, there's a lot of misunderstanding. So I got out of bed 4 days later, and I had to cough. So I got a big pot, and I took the skins of the pineapple, and I put it in that pot with water filled up. I used the skin of the soursop. I used the skin of the papaya, the mango, slices of oranges, cinnamon sticks, and the cloves, harumpale. Yes, I put all that in there. I put in board tea, Incalaba, moringa leaves, orange oil, baobab. I mean, I just put everything, even some of my American spices, and I boil it for 2 hours. And you have the recipe, it's on YouTube. Boil it for 2 hours. And you just, after it cools, you take a cup of it and you drink it in the mornings and you drink it at night. It'll get rid of all the inflammation, and also worms and everything will come through. But the one thing, after you do that, you're not gonna really go back and do the same things. You're not gonna eat the same things. You're gonna try to change it so you don't have that experience. And every so often, you should boil these things. And this will help you and your family. Thank you.
Once again, we'd like to thank Dr. Teray for allowing us to come, but we also like to thank you for being such an excellent audience. Can you give yourselves a hand, please? Now, if you'd like further information, you can just leave us your number if you have WhatsApp or whatever, and we can send you additional information. I know some of you.
Hello?
Yes. Oh, okay. Some of you here in the Gambia, there are two things. Number one, microwave ovens. No.
Try to avoid it.
Microwave ovens, before they called them microwave ovens, they changed the name. They used to be called radiation ovens. And there's a reason. When you put your food in a radiation oven or microwave oven, it kills 98% of all the nutrients. So you're basically eating dead food. Dead food is acid. And in order for your body to neutralize the acid, it has to take the nutrients from the minerals in your body to neutralize the acid. That's why when people get older eating acid food, they like have weak bones. Osteoporosis, okay? Break the bones. So remember, it's about survival. Here at this school, you don't have the fluorescent lights. If you do, no. Why? Because of our melanin, our sensitivity, we are able to pull in that, and it racks our brains. That's why in America, we have a problem with they saying, they can't sit down, they can't learn, they can't. Well, if you take out the fluorescent lights, you'll see how calm they are. This is just survival information. If you've appreciated any of this, share.
Okay, I have another thing too. How many of you are interested in the future learning how to prepare plant-based vegan food? Because I'm training, and I'm thinking of next year if I can have maybe if I get a list of 10, 6, and when your schedule allows you to come maybe 1 day a week for 4 hours, and my chefs are there. They can also assist you as well as myself, and you can do it for 6 weeks, 1 day a week, and we'll give you a SpicyTasty Vegan Cuisine certificate.
You hear? Good.
And it doesn't have to be just the ladies, it can also be the men as well. And this
Learn from them.
the questions.
And if you message here, she wants to create an avenue for university students to have at least once in a week to go to their home where they already have people there who are trained. They also train you 4 hours in a day to learn and understand how to make those plant diets. So that if you are a master, she will certify you in the name of the institution or the book that they are working on. So that anywhere you go, You can also use that, even seek a job with that you have been trained and how to prepare a plan there. If you are interested, you can have a list. When the time comes, you will make arrangement, you go there, you will train for free, and you'll be certified. That's next month. Yes. We are in December, right? Starting from January to any week before next December.
Okay, so
Okay, so you can sign up over here if you're interested in that.
Yes.
Now, are there any questions or comments before we go?
Yes, if you have questions for them,
Do you have any
you ask
questions?
them.
Yes. Like your name and the phone number.
Yeah, the paper will go around. If you are interested, you put your name and your
Phone number there. And maybe a little bit about yourself. I don't know.
There is a question here. Hello. There's a important question here. How to use this? So please listen. If you know how to use it, you can even try it on your own and use it at your home. The way you feel is easier for you. Hello, let's pass the paper. Hello.
You can use the turmeric in your stir fries. You can put it in your stews. You can put it in your teas. You can put it in just about anything. Okay?
And if you have any pain, pain or injury, you just put a half a teaspoon in water or with your tea, and you drink it and put a little black pepper or cayenne pepper there to mix it in and start to work and help your knees or your legs or whatever. And it's also good for your eyes and your inflammation. You lose weight from this.
Any other questions?
Did you hear the explanation about how to use this? No. Please listen.
Yes.
Yes, please listen. How to use this turmeric powder.
Can anybody tell us? I just mentioned it. You can add it into water or your tea in the mornings, and it will help to clear out the inflammation, and you may eliminate as well, and you'll feel better. You can also put it in your stews and your soups, on your spices, on your meals. And it also helps to, if you're eating meat, this is one thing this is good for. Because in India, they eat a lot of meat. So this is one of the ways to keep you detox. And you can also add this into the drink, the concoction.
Any other question?
No question?
Yes,
Yeah, boy. I'm 50.
Hello? Hello? A question is asked here, it's important. Please, let's allow her to give right answer to the particular question so that others can also benefit. Please.
Okay, this young lady is interested in the foods that we eat. We generally are people who have money, and that's because over the years where you are today, you can be where I am and even better. Because you are getting this information that wasn't available to me. It was available to the Jews, the other Europeans, but not a lot of us, like you're saying, local people, it wasn't available. But if you continue to work and you start making money, it depends on what you want. I took my money and I bought good food because I had to eat healthy. Because I'm Native American and I had to eat the corn, the greens, and all of those things that help me to continue to live. And you'll find bags and beautiful shoes, pay maybe $4,000 or $5,000 a month to get a hairstyle. If you do that, then it may be difficult for you to get good food. So everybody has an opportunity to eat whatever you know that's best for your body. It may take time, but you can get there.
Any other question?
Yes.
Yeah, I phoned them. Yes, Hello? Somebody wants to ask a question over there, please. Yes, go ahead. Hello? Hello? Somebody's asking a question there. Brother, please ask the question.
Yes.
Sorry. Hello. Can we ask the question? Okay, I think thank you very much for your time. That's the end of the presentation. Sometime we